We've all imagined a scenario where we were in a zombie apocalypse. Many of us believe we could survive in that type of world. We all have to be honest with ourselves. Not many of us bother to even go for a light jog, so what is going to stop a fast zombie from catching up with us? And also, facts just usually don't care about your feelings. And well, examination sure as hell doesn't either. The WE-30 virus is an epidemic that originated in the Republic of Menlo into the future of 2030. The lore says that it started from a bar fight near the capital of Menlo, and police were issued to the scene and were also attacked and contributed further into the virus's spread. The government tried to conceal the outbreak to not cause panic among people, but it failed, and it caused even more havoc. Because of this, containment areas were made to contain the outbreak, but Rezonian units infiltrated to get their citizens of Rezonia that were in the place out of there. Now that we know how it started, we'll get into what it is. The WE-30 virus is a mutation of the rabies virus, which causes extremely aggressive behavior, not too different from other interpretations of zombie media, which would also mean that they are rapidly decaying. So we're not dealing with any supernatural forces here, thankfully, unless we're talking about D0, but I don't know what exactly he is. Also, the zombies in the game are the fast kind, so a lot of us are automatically cooked off of that fact. No! But anyways, the infection speed varies depending on if you were healthy, which takes days or weeks to fully turn. Wounded and sick people fall to the virus within hours in some cases. Part of the lore that I believe states our specific situation in the game is the nuclear silo meltdown, since it says here that it created the radioactive mutated infected. I also hope that the radiation isn't preventing any decay in some way. I'll list off some enemies that would make it very hard for you to survive in this world.
Maybe if we don't move, it won't see us.
Yeah!
Starting off from the most dangerous is the kamikaze zombie. It's pretty self-explanatory if you've played the game before. Hopefully they at least make some noise before they bump into you, otherwise you will meet an untimely demise from them exploding on you. Second is an executioner. If they get the jump on you, say goodbye to your jugular, because that is what they will be going for first. And next thing you know, you're knocking on heaven's door. The slashers by themselves might not be an issue, but they still eat a lot of your ammo if you don't headshot them. And if they are within a group of zombies with other executioners, that would prove to be a deadly combo. And also, you would have to imagine in real life fighting somebody with an axe. That is pretty intimidating. Third is the shielder zombies, because they would be practically impossible to shoot at or through if there's a horde behind them. Better pray that he came alone, otherwise you will be dying. Another danger is your own teammates turning if they somehow got infected. They'll turn into executioners or just outright virals that'll eat you for supper. Not a very fun way to go, if I do say so myself. Now, I'll give my own reason why I think it's impossible to survive in this scenario. Some people I have to give a background on is Troy and Gilbert. These two were among the first units to go into the facility in the game, and from what I could gather about their background is Troy and Gilbert are special operators, and Troy was the commander of the team. He was also given an exosuit to do the mission with. The first point immediately that comes up is the fact that Gilbert and Troy were not able to make it out normal. Sure, they weren't torn apart and died, but they still couldn't hold out the horde enough to stay healthy. Why is this an issue? The fact that they were both special operators, which if you don't know, means they are the best of the best in the military. Physically and, well, usually mentally, because Gilbert over here has a few issues upstairs.
Why y'all put cheese on my cheeseburger?
I'm sorry, what?
Shut your bitch.
But anyways, Troy was a commander with an exosuit too, so if a special operator commander of a unit with the cycle like Gilbert can't make it out, chances are you and I won't be making it out. Even if you do manage to get through further than Gilbert and Troy, which mind you, you're gonna have to put them down because they have been infected, and they are pretty hard boss fights in the game if you ever played it. You're gonna have to deal with Mikhail and somehow stealth your way past him, and if you do set him off, you're gonna die a horrible death because he's practically invincible. You're probably gonna die in a gunfight against the Rezonian units that are scattered across Sector 3. And if you somehow haven't died already after that, get ready to fight Sinitskin, a juggernaut that shoots you from afar and most likely overpowers anybody in hand-to-hand combat if he ever gets his hands on you. You have to go through all of these trials and tribulations while also having to worry about not getting infected from either your mask breaking, getting bit, or maybe even scratches. There are most likely more sectors and bosses you would have to deal with further than Sinitskin, which we don't know right now. Also, you might say that you wouldn't just be a normal boring little private, but the thing is that would be more based on if you were deployed with or without experience, at least according to the game, because I'm pretty sure it's implied that varied ranks go into the fight, and for a pretty serious emergency in the universe, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter if you're a special operator or not. So the rank that you're dropped in with is random for our discussion's sake, and even then, if you were a special operator, as mentioned before, you're probably not as qualified as Shoyan Gilbert. But obviously, if you were dropped in as a special operator, it would up your chances, but it's not a guarantee, buddy. Chimera would be the most dangerous infected that you could encounter. Troy succumbing to the infection pretty much spells your doom in a real scenario. This is because he's a teleporting demon. No! Without game logic, he would be impossible to shoot, and even if he is shot, he is practically bulletproof because of his armor. And don't even think about trying to go hand-to-hand combat with bro.
He'll for sure overpower you since he has an exosuit with the irradiation virus and being at a peak human performance as a special operator.
Also, he has claws, so you wouldn't want to even go hand-to-hand with Chimera. Without game logic too, he would probably just be wandering around in a random area. Anyways, Chain versus Chimera. But maybe I'm tripping. Maybe we got a few special operators in the audience right now that could solo the entire game by themselves in real life. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know down below and spill your tactics on how you would survive. We would all appreciate having the information.
Shut your bitch. Someone come in there and shoot you.
The fact that was previously mentioned. What the fuck? Third is the shielder zombies because they would pause, no diddy. The best in the military physically. Fuck means they are the best of the best. Fucking